Hello, everyone. Paul from High Tech Legion. How you doing, guys, girls? Uh, this is our first webcast, so believe me when I tell you, we're learning. You might be seeing me do things that you're not normally used to seeing me do on video. So we'll just hold out for a couple seconds and wait for a few people to sign in. It looks like we've got Slugbug and Static FX.
Hey guys,
and type in the chat. Also got Wade here. Wade, go ahead and say hello to everybody.
Hey everybody, it's Wade here.
All right, so let me just at least talk about something that was really friggin' odd today. I'm doing a review on a product, and believe it or not, I had to buy a copy of Windows 8.1, not 8.0 and then upgrade it, but I actually had to buy a copy of Windows 8.1 Pro. And the reason why I had to do that is because I'll be reviewing this NUC that you see here. This is the new NUC that has the Core i7 in it. And it also is compatible with the new Samsung SSD, which is the SM951. A lot of you have probably heard about it, seen it. Now, remember one thing. The SM951 at this present time is only OEM. And yes, I do have it in this little box here, and I'll bring it out for you guys so you can see it. So the 951 is actually NVMe. So many motherboards nowadays don't recognize the standard for NVMe. And also, Windows 8.0 doesn't recognize or have the drivers in it for NVMe. So after a lot of frustration through the last couple days, I finally got a hold of a couple people at Intel, and we went over a few things. Called Asus, who's the manufacturer of my motherboard that I was using to also test it because it wouldn't be recognized on the NUC. And it's supposed to be recognized on the NUC because, of course, Intel has sent this to me so I could use it as part of the review. But, of course, they had just assumed that I had a copy of 8.1 Pro. And I only have a copy of 8.0. I do like a lot of people do. You go, you install it, you reformat your computer, you go and you basically, what do? You go and upgrade it to Windows 8.1, right, Wade?
Yep, you upgrade it to Windows 8.1. Usually it goes perfectly fine. But unfortunately, what we found out was 8.1 has the driver for the Samsung SSD in it, and 8.0 doesn't include that. Of course, with XP, you used to be able to kind of throw that in during the installation, but with 8.0, not so much. So after all the troubleshooting, Paul found out he had to get a copy of 8.1.
Yeah, which kind of sucks, man. I'll tell you that much because I had to have it overnighted. But here's the funny story about this. So I pay the money to get it overnighted. I've got Amazon Prime. I pay the money to get it overnighted. And I go and check my tracking, and it says that it was delivered at 6:38 at my front door. Well, the funny thing is, tonight, I was at 6:38. I was with my neighbor, George. I was smoking a cigarette out in the front with a glass of wine because Deanna and I know that his wife likes sweet wine, and we happened to buy a bottle of wine, which was fruity and juicy. We thought White Merlot might be kind of dry, but evidently it wasn't, you know. So we decided to give some of them, and it did, you know, it just didn't freaking, it didn't taste good, so I gave it to the neighbor. But in any case, so it didn't come. So I call Amazon, and I go through this whole crap with them, and finally find out when we call UPS with Amazon on the phone, they delivered it to my next door neighbor. And how they figured that out is I guess the drivers on their tracking, when they have to punch in for the tracking, it actually gives them a GPS location. Well, unfortunately, up until about 20 minutes before I did actually get this, my neighbors were on their way home from Vegas, so I didn't even think they were home, but luckily they were home, and I did end up getting it, which was a good thing. But getting back to the NVMe, this SSD here.
You mean you didn't want to go dig into it?
Of course, you know, I'm going to read to you guys a little bit because I'm a little bit off on the specs on this one. It is fairly new, so we'll just take I'll take a quick look at the specs because you got a sequential read on this of about 2150 megabytes per second. Of course, the sequential write is 1200 because this is the 256. Of course, when you go up to the 512, you're actually going to get 1500 on the right instead of the 1200. And then on your 4K random, you got 90K on the IOPS and 70K on the IOPS. And the power consumption on this is 2 milliwatts, so it's not a lot of power consumption on it. But the funny thing about it is it's a new standard. And even though technically it's not a true NVMe, it does have NVMe embedded into it. So you're going to need an operating system that's going to be able to recognize it. And as I said, right now it's OEM. Samsung did say that they are working on a client model, so maybe they'll have it out on the open market for everybody to get it, and it will be available. It's going to be kind of pricey because the 941 was like $500 for a 256. So we could probably think that this is probably going to be a little bit higher. So in any case, you're going to need Windows 8.1, and hopefully you have the most up-to-date drivers and a fairly new motherboard. At this time, the only 2 motherboards that I know that are compatible with this, other than the one in the Nook here, are the X99 and the Z97 motherboards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of share my screen here for a second, and I want to ask you guys a question. And I know a lot of you guys are older guys, so please have an open mind to this when I do this.
Just
let
keep
me
it
go ahead and at least loop it and full screen it here. So, and I'll lower the volume for a second. There's just a few things that I need to do in order to do this. We're still learning, so that's why I'm saying this live broadcast right now is more of a learning thing, and we want you guys just to see what we're going to do. We do have XSplit, which we'll be doing overlays and stuff like that in the future, so you should be able to, you know, we'll be able to go ahead and do some nice overlays and maybe get some web pages in there and do stuff like this. All right, so this is actually the new introduction for the High-Tech Legion videos. We decided to change it from the old one because I think my camera went down. So, well, hopefully you can still hear my voice. But in any case, this is the new one, and the reason why we decided to change it is because what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get new subscribers. You guys are our core base who've been with us for a long time. I know you like the other stuff with the other music, but we need to try to get a better audience. So this is why we went with that. And what I'll do from here is I'll go ahead and play the old one for you. Of course, you're going to see my screen now. Oh no. Let's go ahead and minimize that. And I'll go, oops, wrong button, Paul. And I'll go ahead and, oh, Jesus.
That's what she said. Wrong button.
And we'll go ahead and play this one. So, I don't know if you guys are seeing this or not. hopefully you guys all saw that. Or should I play the old one, the new one first? All right. So this is our new one. Of course, you're familiar with our old one. And what I wanted to ask was this. Do you guys like the new music? Do you guys like the old music? Do you think maybe the new video with the new music would be better? And I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm not screen sharing anymore, so that's a good thing. You can actually see me. So we're going to take some questions from the audience here, and why don't you tell us what you can see and what you can't see, or what you like and what you don't like? That would be the best thing. I'm sorry, like I said, I'm kind of watching it with you guys, and I can see that you're looking at a blue screen, and technically nothing's playing there. But there we go. All right, because we're on about a minute delay. So, what do you like about the new one? What do you like about the old one? Give me some feedback. Let's see. Jerry, you said, I noticed the new intro is not near as loud as Alas. Yes, it's not as loud. We have made some changes to it. We have also lowered the volume, and we're doing a lot of things with sound now. I just went ahead and purchased, just so you guys could see it, and I told you it was happening, I went ahead and purchased wireless microphone. So now it's not going to sound like I'm 40 miles away from the videos. Hopefully this will give me better mic quality. You can hear me better when I'm doing it. Wade, as a matter of fact, right now. Wade, go ahead and tell them what you bought.
I actually bought a Zoom H1, and I'm going to be getting myself a lavalier mic to plug into it to try to see if I can improve my audio quality as well.
So, as I said, we're making changes here, as you can see. The new outro is going to be coming soon. It's going to be kind of like the new intro, but instead of having pictures of us flashing, you know, some like video clips, it's actually going to be showing the links to, of course, YouTube channel, hightechlegion.com, etc. So whose card arrives in 2 days? Ricardo. What kind of card do you got there, man? And Min, you said that it's kind of old school. Is that the old one or the new one? Okay, Bing, old music, new video. Well, thank you, Chris. Yes, that's something that we have been considering. And I'm glad you guys like that old music, because I actually composed it back out in the 80s, man. And I got some coffee here, so I'm going to take a drink. I'll be heading towards the attitude adjustment area in a minute to get something else. But
I don't know. I think I might be able to record ghosts there, Static.
Yeah, hey, that's true, man. Why don't you shut the lights off and do a test, see if you can catch any voices. My precious. All right, everybody. So technically, like I said, we've got an upcoming Nook review. This is the Core i7. We already did a written on the Core i5, but I'm actually going to combine both reviews. I was waiting for this one to get here. They were a little bit delayed with the Core i7 version of the Nook with the Broadwell processor. So I didn't do the video of the other Nook because I'm going to actually do them both. I'm going to do a little bit of live while I'm doing the video on it, the review on it. I'm actually going to do a little bit of a live benchmarking to show you guys some comparison. And of course, the Core i7 is going to have the 951, which is the newer one, and the Core i5 Nook will have the 941, which is the not predecessor, because this would be the predecessor, I think, but it's prior generation. How's that sound? Is that good one? That good way?
Yeah, definitely.
Prior generation.
The new generation of SSDs coming down the line, and M.2 is a big standard that I think we're going to be seeing a lot more, considering how much more bandwidth you get out of things.
Yeah, guys, we should be we should be doing some more M2 and more SSD reviews in the future. We're going to start delving into that a little bit more. What you're going to notice with that, though, we'll probably be doing more video with the SSDs and the M.2s and a little bit less writing. So we're going to kind of adjust some things here with the writing. It seems that not a lot of people like to read. I know Chris does read. I know Peter does, or RR Play, my boy, and I know that Sluggo does. But you know, some of you guys don't like to read; you like to watch the videos, which is fine because that's why we're giving you that extra. What do you call? But we're actually going to be doing more, and we're actually going to be doing just more video and a little bit less writing on these because they're just such a small item. It's very hard to really write sometimes a lot. It might be better off that we just showed you things live. Why not? Live is better, isn't it? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my monitor here. As you can see, it's the Acer 4K monitor. And one thing that I didn't tell everybody, and I actually forgot to tell everybody this, and if you saw my video on the Titan X, you'll notice that I read the specs off. Well, I actually memorized 99% of it. I think I looked at the board twice, but I actually memorized it. I forgot to mention that the Titan X is HDMI 2.0 certified, which means that you can use an HDMI 2.0 cable, plug it into a 4K TV, and you'll get 4K out of it. So it's the first video card on the market to actually have HDMI 2.0 standard, which is 4K, which is a good thing. All right.
Pretty considering, and then we got the new DisplayPort coming down too.
Right. Well, yeah, you got DisplayPort 1.3 coming out, but nothing right now supports it. And the funny thing is, whether it's backwards compatible or not, oh, I'm using the wrong mouse to turn that. Duh. All right. I'm going to be adjusting things here in a second for you guys to get a little bit better view of this. Yeah, I know. I can't keep my hands still, James. I'm Italian. I talk with my hands. I like to do this. Just remember, there's somebody else who likes to talk with their hands. And let's get some feedback on this one. What do you think about the godfather of tech, Dirty Ezio, doing a few more maybe parodies or a few more reviews? You know, godfather of tech? Think about it. We might even let him have his own introduction or something like that when he comes on. I don't know. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually adjust my brightness here, and so you could actually see the screen a little bit better. I'm going to lower the exposure so you can actually see the screen. So you're not going to see me as well, and I will try to zoom in a little bit better for you. And what we'll do is, no, that doesn't look that good. Let's try to go. What do you think about that, Wade? Is that a little bit better, or should I lower the exposure a little bit still?
No, that's okay. That's okay. We're a little blurry, but you know, it's viewable.
Okay. All right. Going to bring up EVGA Precision X16. I'm going to try to get this less blurry, everyone, so you could actually see it better. I'm still working with this new webcam, so please bear with me. We'll figure it out. Man, that's blurry as hell.
You may have to move the camera a little closer, I think.
Yeah, I might have to do that. No, let's. All right, let me auto it again, so I could get it to where at least they might be able to see it a little bit better. I'll zoom in on the camera, and then I'll pan it over a little bit. Up, wrong way. There we go. Now let's reduce the exposure on it, reduce the gain, and maybe add a little, what do you think, a little bit of, no, contrast, no. Crap, color intensity.
Yeah.
It's fairly there. All right. But right now, I'll explain it to you. Guys, we'll get this worked out in the future. Don't worry about that. But right now, of course, you're probably familiar with Precision X. Basically, what you got here is everything right now is running on stock. So I got my fan on auto without anything on. I've got my regular clock speeds, as you can see, since it's on idle, I'm only getting a GPU clock of about 135. It's a little warm in my house today, so we're probably looking at, it's 33 degrees Celsius, the GPU temp at idle right now because I don't have the air conditioner running. Now, we got a GPU temp target of 83. Our power target's at 100. And what I wanted to show you, as I mentioned in the video, was if you're running this at stock and you're going to start playing a game or benchmarking, let's do it in a windowed, and I'm actually going to lower it to, say, by 25 by 16 so you can see both of them running at the same time. Basically, what's going to happen is when you're running this at stock, because it's got the stock fan, it's got everything like that, you're going to use everything on auto. What's going to happen is basically what you're going to get is your fan temperatures, and I do have my EVGA. I have my on-screen my OSD up, on-screen display up, and it's showing me what my temperatures are, what my GPU usage is, etc. So when I start the benchmark, I'm going to hit F9. And now what I want you to listen for is I want you to listen for the fan. Now I've got two computers running, so you're probably going to notice. Let me click auto on that and see what happens. No, damn it.
That's a little better. Still blurry, but better color-wise.
How about that? Too blurry?
Yeah.
All right. Let me fix the exposure on it. Auto. All right. Well, all right, right now we're running at 1164. My temp is 81. Of course, like I said in the video, with this at stock, with regular settings, it's going to run between 81 and 83 degrees. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But here was the problem that I found when I was overclocking. I'm going to go ahead and, oh shit, wrong profile. And I deleted the profile, but don't worry, I remember what my what do you calls were. So we're going to go to 110%, which is going to bring my GPU temp target up to 91 Celsius. I'm going to go ahead and bring my GPU offset to 235. Memory clock, I normally, guys, I don't like to really overclock the memory because to me it doesn't make a difference. It's really not giving me, it's not really giving me that extra boost in frames per second that I need. We've got very high memory here. You know, it's over 7,000 megahertz the memory, so you're getting good memory quality out of it. Now we're going to go ahead and hit the over voltage on this, and we're going to go up to 12 millivolts, and I'm going to hit apply. So right now, as you can see, we're running at 1399. We're at 83 degrees Celsius. And that is because I am still running the benchmark. If I stop the benchmark, let's hit escape to quit it. All right, let's go ahead and quit, let it reset. All right, Now the GPU clock is coming down. I'm going to go ahead and hit run again.
You know, the other thing I find about the memory is a lot of times that's more often than not what causes the artifacting in the in the things, even though you might get a high overclock.
I agree with you there, Wade. I definitely agree with you. Okay. As you can see, we're at 1411 right now, 1412. It's going to start throttling because it's getting up above over 80. Now, when I start benchmarking at this, we'll hit the F9 and I'll go ahead and start benchmarking. You're going to notice that we're probably going to fail here in a couple seconds. And the reason why we're going to fail is because we're hitting that threshold of where I was telling you that this likes to be at about 66 in order not to crash. So as we're watching the benchmark, I'm going to go ahead over to the attitude adjustment area. If you want to talk a little bit there, Wade, go ahead. But I'm going to head over to the attitude adjustment area and get myself a little bit of jack.
Yep. Everybody needs a little bit of jack in their life, right? Yeah, so what we found with the Titan X was what they found the sweet spot with the hitting the temperature of 83 degrees with their stock speeds. But as soon as you tried to start overclocking it any higher, it really didn't like to be around that 83 degrees Celsius, and a lot of times it would crash. So Paul found that just by kind of setting a custom fan profile, you were able to get a stabler overclock out of the card and keep it cooler and still get that extra oomph of performance from the overclock. So that's pretty cool and good to know, definitely for any of you out there who are getting the Titan X. I know that we saw that one person is waiting on their card and we'll have it in a couple days. So definitely when you try to overclock, if you're going to, you really don't need to. It's a pretty kick-ass card anyways, but I'm sure you're going to want to play with that and definitely set a custom fan profile. You'll have a lot better luck.
All right. Well, in any case, James, yes, 80 degrees is normal for this card. The threshold is 92. Of course, as you can see, when you set your temp target to 91, it'll stay at 91. If it goes over, it'll start to throttle on you. But gentlemen and ladies, if there are any ladies in here, if you take a look at my screen, you can see it froze. It froze at 1399 because I kept the fan on regular. All right, so I'm going to have to reboot. So let me go ahead and reset it. I'll take a sip. We'll reboot, and then I'll go ahead and I'll set the fans to aggressive. And once it's on aggressive, you'll go ahead and see that the card will pass at 14. It'll actually go to 1424 because the boost will stay up. It won't throttle because it's not hitting that temperature threshold. So in any case, let's go ahead and start this. And what we'll do is we'll bring back up Precision Tune. Now, there's a lot of overclocking utilities out there, ladies and gentlemen, but I kind of prefer, and you know, it's my preference, and I'm not reviewing any of the overclocking utilities. I kind of prefer Precision X. I don't know why, maybe because I just like the kind of tachometer look, but to me it gives I get better results with Precision X than I do with the other two. So that's my preference. Now, you could use whatever you want. Use Afterburner. I've used that too. And I've also used GPU Tweak by ASUS, which is another good one. But I just happen to prefer Precision X. So let's go ahead and set this. I'm going to go and set my profile to Profile 1 again. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click over here, and I'm going to go to my fan. I'm going to enable the automatic fan control. As you can see, it's on aggressive. I'm going to click OK. Now, I don't know if you can hear this. I'm going to shut up for a minute. You can actually hear the fan starting to kick up. It's just a gentle whoosh. It's nothing loud. It doesn't sound like a jet engine. All right, we got our fan control set to aggressive. Let me go back. Let me double make sure. There we go. Now we're good. All right. So we'll save this as profile 1. Now we'll bring up Heaven. I'll go ahead and click 1. Run, not 1. Oh boy, that jack's hitting me that fast? What the fuck? All right.
Cheers.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and run. Now it's going to make a liar out of me, but, you know, I'm going to go ahead and start the benchmark. All right, right now, I got a GPU temperature of 56 degrees Celsius. I'm running at a GPU clock of 1424. Now, if you noticed before when I was using it regular with regular fan speed, we were at between 1399 and 1411. But because I've got this fan curve set the right way, it's keeping the temperatures lower. I'm maintaining the higher boost. Our fan is running right now at 74%. We're at 63 degrees Celsius, and we've got about 3648 RPMs. I will shut up and let you see if you can hear this fan. Like I said, it's basically just a whoosh. So, hats off.
Salute, right?
Hey, Chris, you sure you don't have one of these with you? All right. I know it's kind of boring just to watch, just to watch Unigine Heaven benchmarking, but I just want to prove to you guys. Right now, we're at 65 degrees Celsius on the GPU. Fan speed's about 80 right now, so I'll shut up again for a minute and let you listen to the fan that it's at 82 now. All right, 82. It's still just a whoosh. Now remember, this is an open air setup. It's on my test bench. This is not in a case. Not in a case, guys. Oh, shit. Made a liar out of me, Wade. It crashed.
It crashed.
Holy crap.
That warmer day in Florida, right?
Hey, you got me, man. I don't know what happened. Maybe because I have something else running in the background, but all right. Well, in any case, it did crash at that, which is kind of odd because 99.9% of the time it ran straight through. If you watch the review, it actually went ahead and it passed, and I played all the benchmarks and all the games with it, so it was fine. What do you think, guys? Do you want me to try to rerun it so I can show it to you, or do you think you kind of got a good idea on what the difference was? Yeah, you got. There, you can see the comments in there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You're on a minute. You guys are on about a minute delay for some reason. We're doing it live. I don't have it set to a delay, but yep, you're absolutely right. It did crash, which is kind of funny. But other than that, we're at 33 minutes and 58 seconds now. I'm going to go ahead and just let it. I'm going to go ahead and run it in the background again. And let's see if it actually does pass this time. I don't know what the hell I did. Let's see. Let me go and adjust the fan. Maybe, you know, I have a feeling. I really have a feeling that my aggressive fan curve here. There we go. All right. That's what I remember I had to do. I had to lower my threshold on this one here to keep it. So I went ahead and lowered it to about 77. Let me click OK for that. And then we'll go ahead and run it. Run the benchmark again. Make a friggin' liar out of me live, man. What the hell? I think Dirty Etsy would have probably did
a bunch of F-bombs, right?
All right, let's go ahead to profile 1. There we go. I'll make sure that the fan's set to aggressive still. Yeah, there we go. All right. All right, well, as I said, it's going to maintain, it's going to go ahead, I'm going to hit F9 and let it bench. Oh, of course it's not going to bench if I don't have it selected. We're going to hit F9 and let it bench. I'll let it run in the background. I'll go ahead and zoom back out a little bit on this so you guys can see me. And bring this back over a little bit. And I will go ahead and auto everything again. Let's restore the defaults. Whoa! It should autofocus here in a second, so it won't be that bad. All right, gentlemen. Well, it's still benchmarking in the background, and it's still running, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Technology. Gotta love it.
Exactly. Take a swig and cross your feet. All right. I don't know what that's supposed to do, but it tastes good anyway.
Why not, right?
Why is that showing like in black and white? That's really odd.
I think it looks like it's just contrast.
I just hit the auto default, auto re. All right, let's put that on all. Let's take that off of auto. Let's click the right light on it. Click the white balance. I don't know. It looks like a total different picture now, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, in any case, as we can see, it's running in the background. Next thing I got for you guys is I wanted to show you is I've had this for a little while here, believe it or not. It's the EVGA Torx, and this is the actually original one. One of the first mice that I'm going to review in a very long time, and the reason being is because it's ambidextrous. It's a gaming mouse. It is adjustable for both left-handed and right-handed people, which is a good thing, because if you're left-handed like me, you can't use half of these mice that are out today, the gaming mice, because they're made for right-handed people. So right-handed people, lefties rule.
My daughter's going to have the same issue. She's left-handed. So,
hey, you want to hear a funny thing? My neighbors behind me, both husband and wife are left-handed. You got it? Which one is that?
Work for her.
That's for the daughter?
Hmm?
Is that your daughter's?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, this is mine, but she's left-handed. It's not gonna work for her.
Ah, see? All right, well, in any case, if you can see behind me, everyone, I fixed the fan curve. We're at 66. What happened before, and I looked at it, we went up to 68. And remember I told you it gets unstable when it hits 68? Well, we're at 66, 67. My fan speed is about 76%. And we're running through the benchmark here. And guess what? We're actually making it through because it's not hitting that threshold. So we're at 23 out of 26 on the sequence, which isn't bad.
That's a good sign. Usually those last couple are pretty safe.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, you know what I'm going to have to do here, Wade? I'm going to have to adjust this. For some reason.
Try your contrast or your color or something.
I don't know. Now let's try that. Maybe there's just the lighting in the lighting because I have both monitors on. It just changed for some reason. All right, everyone. So of course I was running this in 25 by 14. So we did make it through the benchmark finally. We're at 66, 67 degrees Celsius. We were at 1425 basically the whole time. 70.1 frames per second on that with a score of 1765. Now you can listen. And as you can hear the whoosh, 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 I'll show here. Let me grab the thingy-mashmacker and show you the test rig. There's the test rig down there. There's my screen. Test rig, screen, test. Stop! You guys must be drunk. I could see the screen moving the wrong way there. All right. In any case, all right. So that was a live demo of overclocking the Titan X. Now, as I said, it took me a while to find out what to do with this. I mean, I worked on it for about an hour and a half until I started getting the right fan configuration for it to actually be stable at 14 1/4. So remember, anytime with any card, it doesn't matter if you got an MSI card, you know, with special cooling. When the cooler you keep your card, the more stable of an overclock you're going to get. Yes, you're going to have to deal. You are going to have to deal with a little bit more noise in a sense, but if you want to play at those high numbers, I mean, you got to look at it this way. We're at 1411. Let me go ahead and shut this down. We're at 1411 on that, or 1425, and we're maintaining about 66 degrees Celsius. So it ran. When it went over that 66 degrees threshold, or 67 degree threshold, it crashed on us. So there's the problem. Heat is the factor when you're overclocking. You have to be able to adjust your fans. You have to know how to adjust your fans the right way. You have to be able to tweak your, let me go ahead and shut this down. You're going to have to be able to actually tweak your system, tweak it with whether it be EVGA, Precision X, or Afterburner, and of course GPU tweak. So you're going to have to play with it. Once you learn how to play with it and get it the right way, you'll be able to get those overclocks. Now, I know a couple people in the comments on the video.
Once you learn how to play with it, eh? You know,
you got to learn how to play with it. It's a good thing. You know, slap it around a little bit, left, right, up and down. You know,
maybe a little backward.
Eventually, you get a toy candy surprise. But in any case, all I can say is once you find your sweet spot on any card, that's going to be your overclock. Now you might not get 14 1/4 on your Titan X. It's I think who was it who had the Titan X? I know one of you guys had it. Is it Ronnie Rivera? Ricardo
Getting
Rivera.
it,
I'm sorry, I called you Ronnie. My bad,
getting
bud.
it.
So, Ricardo, you might not get you might not get stable 14 and a quarter. What I suggest you do is, if you want to try the Precision X, go ahead and use Precision X. Reason being is I might be able to help you a little bit better. I haven't overclocked it on the with Afterburner or GPU tweak, so I'm not familiar with the card with that. It might work better, it might work worse, but what you could do is with the Precision X, especially with the on-screen display, you put your on-screen display up there. You can start playing. You can look at that, and you can start playing with your fan speeds, etc., while you're running your benchmark to get your stable overclocks. It makes it a little bit easier. Also, there's a lot of different things that you could do with it. You could record. You could change settings on the fly, etc. And it's just right there. I feel that Afterburner and GPU tweak, you got to go into more things and more screens here, there, around here. Go to the back, go to the front in order to get to what you want. With Precision X, you click on the bottom button, you're there,
It's
and
all,
you can do
it's
what
all
you
in one
need.
spot.
What were
It's
you
all in
saying?
one. It's all in one spot, basically. With Precision X, where a lot of the stuff is scattered all over the place.
Yeah, no, I agree totally, Wade. It is scattered all over the place with the other overclocking tools. So it's really nice. But other than that, everybody, we hope that you enjoyed our webcast. I mean, like I said, this was kind of impromptu. We wanted to see what kind of return we were going to get, who was going to show up, see if we could get a few people in here. And does anybody have any questions for us before we end it all? Upcoming reviews. Why don't I answer certain questions sometimes? Blah, blah, blah. Shoot it to us. You need to ask Wade a question about his X99 review yesterday? Go ahead, give him a shot. But we'll go ahead and open it up to questions again. I'll keep my eye on the screen here so I could actually see the comments that are coming up. Sometimes I miss them because I'm talking and my hands are going a mile a minute.
Yeah, definitely got a lot of reviews coming up. Trying to get them out there for you guys too. Of course, as you know, Paul had surgery, so a little. I feel like we've all been a little lax, but we're trying to get back on track and get the stuff out there for you. And I know I've got the NZXT Doco coming up, some cases for you. Hopefully you like them.
Yeah, we do have some cases coming out. What I wanted to ask you guys is, what do you think about the formats that I've been trying out? My Titan review is kind of leaning towards the new format that we're going to go with. We're going to have a little bit quicker intro. We're going to unbox a little bit quicker. We're going to just show the pertinent points on the product and maybe talk about a couple different features on it. And then we'll go to the benchmarks, and then after the benchmarks, we'll give you our synopsis, of course, like we normally do. But what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to get most of our reviews that we could get down to about 6 to 8 minutes, so you guys don't have to sit there for 20 minutes looking at stuff. Now, unfortunately, yes, we do have to make some reviews a little bit, I guess you could say, longer. But we're going to try to make them a little bit more interesting for you. You're going to start seeing a little bit more of the human side of the guys at High Tech Legion. Hopefully, George will start getting on camera. I know a lot of you have asked me about that, but if you want him to get on camera, everybody, tell him in his videos. Don't send me emails. Don't, when you're talking to me on the phone, say, why doesn't George get on the camera? Tell him. If you tell him you want to see him on camera, he'll probably do it. So talk to George about it. If you want him there, do it. We try to listen to you guys. Like I said, I went out and I bought a new wireless mic for my camera. Hopefully, I'll have better sound coming up. Wade went out because he doesn't have a wireless a microphone jack on his camera. He went out and bought the X1 Zoom. Unfortunately, he forgot to buy the lavalier mic, so he's waiting for that to get here. If that X1 Zoom does work, George is getting one also. So we do listen to what you guys say. We do listen to your comments. We do try. We're trying to make the videos as, I guess you could say, as there we go. Oh, it snapped back there for a second, and then it went, crap. But anyway, we're trying to make we're trying to make our videos a little bit more pleasurable and a little bit more entertaining. I know a lot of you guys just want to see the tech and want to hear what we have to say, and it doesn't matter because you want to buy the product. You're technically for entertainment, but we got to be a little bit more entertaining, I guess. So let's see. Let me see if anybody's asking any questions. That's good. Unboxing shouldn't take too long unless you really.
What's the flag say? Somebody wants to know what the flag says.
What?
Somebody wants to know what the flag says.
Which flag?
The flag on your wall.
Oh, the flag on my wall. It says, "There's no place like home. A grateful nation remembers September 11th, 2001. Maybe some of you don't know, I'm a firefighter paramedic. I don't, high-tech Legion's not my life. I am a firefighter paramedic, and I like to help people. And I did that for a reason. I had some of my family who were firefighters. And most of all, I'm the one who found, when I was 17 years old, I found my grandfather. He passed away. Nobody was around. And for years, I blamed myself for his death because I didn't know what to do. And that kind of, in a sense, made me go that route. So yeah, everybody has a story. We are human. We're just not robots who do this stuff. And, I mean, Wade's got his own story.
Yeah, I mean, I work for a large school system with a bunch of special ed students and kids who have behavioral issues and things like that, doing networking and sometimes even working one-on-one with the kids, reading to them and everything like that. And of course, my family, like most of you probably have. And I just like to check out these new products and give you guys good and honest information on them.
And as a comment, Nasty Boy, are you going to do an unboxing of Fantex M2 Evolve ATX? We've done the Evolve. I think I did the regular Evolve. The ATX, we do have it coming. I'll tell you what happened. I was set to do that one. I had shoulder surgery, and it's put me back. I mean, technically, I don't know if you noticed, but I haven't really been moving my left arm very high like I can do it with this one. I'm still only about to hear with my left arm, so I just got my shoulder out of a sling. I hurt it back at the very end of December. Actually went to CES in a lot of pain. Wade was carrying all the bags and shit. People must have thought that I was some kind of prima donna, you know what I'm saying? But he helped me out. And so, yes, we do have it coming. I told him to hold off on it until I got better because it is a fairly heavy case, and I'm not going to be able to lift it. And Wade does have a lot of stuff that he needs to do. Where is that noise? Is that coming from you or is that mine?
Fan noise from my laptop.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. What's the max levels on a reference 970 in general? Well, look at it this way. Is that Dinexney? Okay. Or if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry. What would I raise it up to? I wouldn't probably go higher than probably 25 millivolts. I mean, technically, the card itself, NVIDIA has designed it, and they cannot, most manufacturers, except for ASUS, who actually do bypass the power limiter. So you can burn up an ASUS card if you buy the specific card that where they have disabled that. All the cards nowadays, whether it be AMD, whether it be NVIDIA, they have a power limiter on them. So even if you raise it all the way up on the millivolts, once you hit a certain threshold, they're not going to allow you to burn the card. But personally, I would probably say 25 millivolts would probably be the max that I would go on it. You could try on your own as long as you got good cooling. The cooler you can keep the card. And when I say good cooling, I'm not talking about just your fans not running high. I'm talking maybe put a little liquid cooling on there or something. You could go a little bit higher. But I would probably say about 25 millivolts is probably where you should be with that card. You guys make a review of the Antec trial 140 before. I'm looking to get the fan, but I couldn't find any reviews of this fan. No, actually, you're talking about the True Quiet 140. Okay. Actually, believe it or not, we just it's been about 2 years since High Tech Legion has done anything with Antec. We just rekindled that relationship with them, and if you saw us at CES, I said that Antec is making a resurgence, and that was part of the case. Antec technically almost disappeared there for a while. So they've got a new rep, they've got a new president, they've got a few new people involved, and they're trying to make a resurgence. So yes, we're going to be reviewing some more Antec products, but it's going to be probably another month or two by the time they start getting things out. We might be looking at that Xbox One cooler. There's also a case that just came out by them that we're going to take a look at. And as per fans, they have not approached us on them. I mean, I could take a look, see if I can see if they are, willing to send them to us. But we'll just have to cross that road when we get there. Let's see, who else? Our GTEC, so if you have a current GTX 970, would you water cool it or just invest the money into a You know something, RG? Would I invest the money? It depends. If that's what I want, if I want the 970 and I want it water cooled, and that's what I could afford with my water cooling system, that's what I'm going to stay with. If I want a 980 and I have the money to water cool that, then I'll go with the 980. It's all your preference. Even if you have a 960 and you want to water cool it, it's what you could afford. I wouldn't suggest saying, oh, well, in order for me to water cool something, I have to have the top of the line. I wouldn't do that. If that's what you could afford and you want to put a water cooling system and you want to, you want to water cool your rig, you want to get a nice loop in there, make it look nice, you got a nice window, that's what you do. Nobody says you have to water cool the high end. You can water cool anything. And it's inexpensive enough now to where most people can afford it. Years ago, I remember when I was reviewing, what the hell was the name of that friggin', actually, I did the, I can't remember the name of the water cooling company. What's the one that just went out of business, Wade?
Oh man, I have no idea on that one, but
they were out in Colorado. Well, in any case, I reviewed one of their first coolers, and the damn thing just to get a whole loop was about $800. So, and that was to cool one video card, CPU, get a nice, the nice crap. Nowadays, $200–300, you can get a decent water cooling setup. You really want to go higher. You're still up around $350, but the prices have come down a little bit. All right, let's see next.
I actually know somebody who has a Ford Explorer radiator under their bed, and they run the coolant through it.
Who the heck does that?
Some nerd from MIT that one of my friends knows.
Holy shit.
Yeah, talking about going crazy. That's going crazy.
Yeah, that is going crazy. All right, Disney. You said you have yours at 12 millivolts. That's fine, if that's where you want to be. As you can see, what did I put into my Titan X? 12. That's where I like to be, is about 12. 25 is the highest I usually would go, but I like to be in the 12 area, so I think you're fine. You're fine, bro. Let's see who's next here. Any other? Let's see. Frozen PC. Yeah, I think they froze their assets, didn't they? Didn't they go under recently, Frozen PC?
No, I think they're still around. I know Radio Shack just went under.
Oh, it's open again. Yeah, Frozen CPU closed down for a while. And that just, Jeff is saying that they opened up again. Okay, well that's good. That's good. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, yeah, I want to talk about something real quick. I know that some of you might ask me questions in the review. I know, especially like the Titan review, people were talking about the 390 or Pascal, which is going to be the future NVIDIA lineup.
AMD, the 390, or are you talking about the AMD?
Well, no, the 390 or the next the future NVIDIA, which is Pascal, which is we don't know if they're going to stay on track and go to a 1000 series or if they're going to rename it 3. Who knows? But we do know that the 390 will be coming out shortly. I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to speculate. That's one thing you're never going to get from me. I hate to speculate about shit that I don't know about. I haven't gotten any specs from AMD. I haven't gotten any specs from Sapphire or their partners. Until I see the specs, I get the card in my system, and I'm able to benchmark it, then I'll talk about it. I don't like to make speculations. I know a lot of people do, but you know something? For me to speculate and say, oh yeah, well it's got blah, 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 it doesn't matter. Because something that sounds like it's going to be great might not be that great. Something that doesn't sound great could be the greatest thing since they invented the pants. So no, a lot of times I will not answer those questions about something that I don't know about. Because I'm not going to open my mouth and then have somebody turn around and tell me, oh, well, you told me this, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's why I keep my mouth shut on it. So I know some people ask me about the 390. When I get it, I will definitely go ahead and talk about it. But until then, I'm not going to speculate. I won't have anybody on the review team or the HTL staff speculate either on it. When we get it, we test it, we know how it works, then we'll comment on it. So hopefully that answers a couple of your questions. All right, guys. Well, let's see. We've got, I don't see on Facebook. Okay. Well, you got to remember, the 295X Disney, it's a good card. Very good card. I didn't test it. I've seen benchmarks on it. I've seen different things. It's a dual GPU card, of course, X2. And a lot of people think that they're actually two 290Xs. They're not. It's actually two 290s, the chips that are in there. So what you're getting is you're getting a fully clocked chip on the one end, and then the other one is down clocked a little bit. That's normally what AMD does. Now, I'm not trying to take away from the card. It performs very well. It's a very good card. I think it's a little bit pricey, especially since it's an older generation. I mean, it's not DirectX 12. It's got that loud-ass cooler on it. I'm sorry to say, but that cooler is loud as hell. I mean, it sounds like it sounds like a jet engine to me. But it is a good card, and it does consume more power than a single GPU. I mean, so look at it that way. I mean, do you want to compare it to maybe the Titan Z? You can, and then look at that comparison. But you know, it's still it's not in the same class as a single GPU card. So That's the way that I kind of look at it. But in any case, everyone, I want to say thank you to everybody who's joined us here. We appreciate it, and like I said, we do have XSplit. We're going to be doing some nice little layovers and things like that in the future. I want to say thank you to Wade. I appreciate you taking your time out and sitting here with us tonight.
Not a problem, you know. It's always fun to have a little chat about some stuff, and cool to get some feedback from our viewers.
All right, guys. Have a great night. I know I went over about 4 minutes and 38 seconds. Thank you very much, and we'll see you the next time. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now. And visit us on hightechlegion.com, Facebook, and Twitter. It's all High Tech Legion, HITECHLEGION. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Stay thirsty. Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody. Enjoy.